to the second Agent Carter after show right here on nerdSHOUT. Woo! Yeah. I'm Kevin Becker here with the rest of the nerdSHOUT team, and let's go ahead and do a nerdSHOUT sound off.
Hey, it's Mark Cirillo.
Hello, guys. Welcome to nerdSHOUT. It's Demetris Hartman. Woo!
Hey, everybody. It's Keyla Teixeira.
Great. So we are here for the third episode of Agent Carter, the second night of it, but the third episode. And it was, in my opinion, a really, really great episode. What do you guys think of it? You guys like it?
I totally agree.
So far, the best episode, I think.
Yeah.
Like, in terms
better.
of the character dynamics and everything, I think it was really
And
good.
sucking me into the story and getting everything rolling.
Yeah.
I feel like
for
I'm
sure.
not on the same page as you guys.
And that's what makes for good TV.
It was a
Thanks
better,
for sharing.
it was
Moving
a
on.
It was a better episode, but I'm still like iffy about this entire show. So.
Oh, really?
There were a
That's
few
good.
like moments that were a little silly, and the characters. I don't like the writing so far in terms of some of the dialogue. It's very cheesy and it's very like over dramatic at certain points. It's almost trying to emulate what the period was like instead of trying to be authentic about the period. They do the attire, they do the outfits, they do everything like that. They try to create that spirit. But something feels like it's a little too cheesy. But it's
like
still
and polished.
Yeah,
Because I actually did think that during this episode, because I actually have to say, like, I love the fact that the sets and like this art design is so brilliant and beautiful,
Yeah.
but everything feels very polished. It doesn't feel like dirty and grimy. And this was a
Staged. It's
tough
staged.
period for the United States.
So cheesy. It's
there would
so
be.
cheesy.
It's a country that's
anything.
recovering
I agree.
from
But
the war.
I'm usually
so-
sensitive to that kind of thing, like the dialogue especially and stuff, and it didn't bother me at all. Like I was totally having fun.
For me, I
It's
guess
so fun.
I see that kind of stylistic thing as a choice. I always see that painting of the diner, like with the couple people. I can't remember the name of it. But
it's
the automat, the diner. Or
No,
just the famous painting. About
oh my god, I know this.
yeah,
and
Nighthawks.
I sent it to you guys.
Yeah,
Nighthawks
yeah.
by
Edward
so-
Hopper.
Edward Hopper.
Yes.
Thank
One
you
of
so
my
much.
favorite painters.
It's one of my favorite paintings of all time.
And so,
yeah.
I mean, when I see the show, I know that that's not necessarily true to the 40s, but it just seems like it's got that style to it, you know. And I guess I'm willing to go along with it because I'm like, if this is what they're shooting for and this is what they're trying to do a period piece that hits what most people think of when they think of that kind of time period. That's cool. That's cool for me. You know, you've got the bright
It's
red hat and
stylized.
the,
Yeah, it's
The
stylized.
hat was stylized.
Did you guys see the the
That's
version
why
of
I didn't
Nighthawks
like
that I sent to
Captain
all you
America
guys?
First Avenger.
It is that.
I think it's just personal preference. I don't like that stylized look. I hated Captain America First Avenger. I think it's the worst Marvel movie.
Oh, that was Iron Man 3 or Iron Man 2.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, no.
3 and 2.
Captain America was the-
I think it's
Captain America was the
it's-
best World
No.
War II movie ever made.
Oh,
Because it had a superhero in it.
Exactly.
When I watched it back the other week,
I'm
I
just
was like,
saying,
very
if
happy.
Schindler's List, if Schindler had like got some spiderweb going, we would have.
I just realized the sacrilege.
Oh my god. Take us to jail.
I'm sorry, everyone in the world.
Apologize.
But okay, so style, it's very stylized. But since we're talking a little bit about, you know, characters coming together, one of the big points of the story of this episode was the Jarvis treason issue.
Yeah.
It came out that Jarvis got dishonorably discharged from the army and he was accused of treason, and then we got the story. And I loved it because one of the things that I love about any Marvel story is watching people connect and come together. And we talked about this when we talked about the Ant-Man trailers. I love the heart. I love that it comes down to being about people.
Right.
And getting to see Peggy and Jarvis talking about this and connecting their way through this, it was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think about that?
Well, I just loved knowing more about Jarvis and explaining why he is where he is, like why he's working for Stark and why, like how that all came about. I thought was great. It's a really good backstory and gives him much more of a character.
Yeah, because Jarvis has been kind of like a very straightforward character. He's not like Alfred in Batman or anything like that. He doesn't have the military background in the comic books, But here they're giving him, they're making him a 3-dimensional character, and we've seen it from the other 2 episodes. He's one of the most interesting characters.
He's my
by far.
favorite
In the
character.
MCU.
And definitely the most interesting male character on this show.
Yeah, totally. Because
Which have been crazy underwritten, but I feel like women have been underwritten on every other show. So I feel like it's a fine balancing act. I have no problem with that.
Preach.
That's what I really like. It's the role reversal.
Everybody
that
take a
goes
quick
on.
screenshot of that because that's the sassiest I've ever seen Kayla in the history of Kayla. Reach it, baby.
I didn't like how Peggy was like really drilling him about it, like wanting to know exactly what happened because obviously it's a sensitive topic for him. But I understood why she did it because she's an agent and she's like business first. So she wanted to know.
She wants to be able to trust the person who she's partnering with.
I really, out of the story, I really liked hearing what Stark did to help Jarvis out and to help his wife and the entire I just love history in a way. So the way that they connected it with what actually happened, how his wife she's Jewish and she wasn't going to be able to escape without, and the fact that Stark helped out just humanized it
exactly.
for me a lot, and it was great. It was nice.
And that's a cool thing that they do with like Howard, especially because he's such a hey, I make things, I'm cool. And then to just be able to see, you can see a lot of Tony in him because it's just like, look at me, I'm great, but there's that moral compass inside that every once in a while it's like, well, I'm gonna, like before he became Iron Man, be like, I'm gonna do a thing, and then no one's gonna know about it.
Secret.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because we still haven't seen Jarvis's wife yet. We haven't seen her.
We've heard her.
We've heard her voice, but we don't know if she does actually exist. So what I'm trying to think is,
I never doubted that she existed. So
because,
what does that mean?
Because I'm trying to think that what if the technology that was used, for example, for Zola to put him inside a computer, what if that's been used to save Jarvis's wife in some way,
now
shape,
she's
or
an
form?
android?
It's kind of that she is within a computer or something like that. I don't know. Then that might also link to, I don't know.
Were you stoned when you watched it? All right, moving on.
No, but we haven't seen her yet. We don't know 100%, and there's a lot of theories online about whether or not she does actually exist.
Oh, really?
Whether or not she's a corporeal form in that time, right now. She did, of course, exist in the war. But it gives Jarvis another extra reason why he leaves and he goes on these other adventures with Peggy, and his wife doesn't question him about it.
Right.
So I don't know. It could be answered further.
She's
down
a robot.
Not necessarily a robot, but it could be something. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
She's not an android because it's 1940, so she's a robot. Anyway.
She's a supercomputer.
I'll take it.
Let's see where that
I
goes.
had topics, but now this whole I'm thinking
That
about
went way
it, just-
longer
I'm
than
like,
we thought it was
Well,
going
no,
to.
it just came out of left field. I was like, of course Jarvis has a wife.
I had not thought that far.
But since we're talking about relationships, I loved this episode seeing Peggy and Angie connect because obviously
Finally.
they're going to, she's in the show,
Right.
But I'm just glad it didn't drag on forever because that could have gotten boring for me. Like, oh, she's hiding everything and she's never talking and the friendship's falling apart. And in episode 7, they're gonna be great friends again. It could have gotten. I think it could have gotten. Really
And when it happened, it really got me the very end of the episode because she'd just gone through such a hard time and lost a friend so I started crying. Well, because it was like Someone to Watch Over Me starts playing in the background and I was like, oh, I lost it.
Yeah, true.
I'll admit it, I lost it.
Oh, did you really?
And I love the waitress. I think Angie, she's great. Because that character could be so annoying so easily.
Yeah.
And she's really charming and great.
For Mark and everybody else, it can be annoying. For me, it's already
Oh,
annoying.
I know, but I just like her.
I mean, I love Angie. It is what it is, but
I really like that line. I've got
What-
some peach snaps and there was some rhubarb pie. Let's have both and see which one makes us puke first or something like that.
She's the friend. She's the friend that every girl has. Every girl has that one friend that's just has so many stories. It's just every time.
Because she's so out there.
She's just so out there. She's just every time Peggy comes around, she has two stories up her sleeve, just
Right.
like that relates to what Peggy's saying. It's like, well, I had an uncle and a cousin of another cousin and a friend of another friend, and this happened. And
If it's not a story, it's a parable.
But I love that. I love that archetype of a friend. Like
It's
on
like
TV
everybody
shows
has
and
that
movies
one
especially.
friend that just keeps
I
going.
love that friend though, who's just like, I have a story. My
This kind of
my-
relates,
my
but it's really
coworker-
about me.
Yeah, my coworker died, and just like, oh yeah, no, I knew somebody that my cousin died. He got hit by a bus. I mean, he just robbed a bank.
It's fair enough. I don't know what to say.
It's that one friend that no matter what you say, they to try to find that one thing that kind of connects to what you're saying.
Yeah, totally.
So one thing I just want to say, because I think it's hilarious, is I couldn't figure out in the first 2 episodes like why I kind of loved that she was living in like a ladies like home or whatever. And I realized because it reminds me of Bosom Buddies. And I know that goes way back to like
It does, but
to the beginning of Tom Hanks' career.
anytime you get Peter Scolari into something, then you've already won.
Right. And I just, it just kills me. Like the whole sneaking around and living in a woman's like thing. It's just, I love that. I love it. It's definitely, but
was
also it
literally-
gives her something happening in her home life.
Yeah.
As opposed to when she just didn't
Well,
have anything
it
there.
also, because she raises the question, no building is impenetrable and stuff like that, which means that
She has
her
to break
room, her
out of
house
her
will
own
eventually-
house.
I think it will become like an HQ for them, and like
Yeah.
Howard Stark. Because I remember like when they had the previews of the future episodes, Howard Stark is in her room. I think so, in her apartment room where she hits him, where she punches him.
I don't
And
know
he
if
just
that's
shows
right.
up. He's like, I trusted you. I think it was in her room.
Oh, you mean in the? Oh,
the
yeah, for the
apartment
next
building.
episode. Yeah. I
And
wonder.
I think Jarvis will show up there at some point and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's also actually is a segue into the new character,
That's
Dottie
true, Dottie.
Underwood.
Oh my God.
Which, with
Okay.
the minute I saw her, I was like,
Okay.
I know,
spy,
but before we
murderer.
Before we get there, really quickly, I always pronounce his name right.
Sousa, like John Phillips.
Sosa.
I love him.
Alka-Seltzer.
I just want to talk about how much I love his character. He's one of my favorite characters.
I love Sousa.
Jarvis and then him.
Yeah, no, Sousa's great. In
Sousa's
fact,
great.
one of my friends was texting me. She was texting me from Connecticut about her watching the show, and she's like, I've just had a crush on him forever. Everything he's in, Dollhouse, like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Everything in the Whedonverse.
He is
Yeah.
also
Now,
Whedonverse
here's
alumni.
Jinx.
I'm waiting,
You
and
want
I
me a
haven't
soda?
seen it because
Yeah.
I probably.
A soda.
But I don't know why that came in when we were talking about the house.
Because obviously Dottie is Sousa in disguise. But,
Clearly.
Done.
We all
Done.
agree on that.
I
Yeah.
does Dottie
Theory is out
/
there.
Sousa exist?
Or is he an android slash?
Or
Is he a
Dusa.
fembot?
Medusa.
He's a
Medusa.
fembot.
Medusa. But
Medusa.
here's my thing, and I meant to say this last episode, and I didn't because I forgot. But and I haven't seen it on the internet, but I also haven't gone looking for it because I know it'll make me crazy. But that actor, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce,
Enver Yokaj.
There you
Yokaj. or
We
something like
all
that.
apologies to everyone.
I
This
apologize if
apology
I've massacred his name.
is
Sorry.
in Avengers.
What?
He's
He's
one of the
gonna-
cops.
He's one of the cops in
Yeah.
the
He's one of the cops in Avengers.
And so
I
now,
don't remember that.
Here's your job.
I'm sure I
Internet.
did at the time.
Does
How
he?
do
Tie
you
it
connect
together.
Sousa to his identical grandson, who's an NYPD officer.
Stark Industries cloning department.
Life model decoys? Perhaps?
The Vision.
The Vision. He's gonna be the Vision. No, I already have my own theory about that. We discussed about it.
But
earlier.
I
Share
really
with
want to
you
know
later.
like what you guys think about this Dottie Underwood character that was just introduced. Like,
Oh.
I really think like my first instinct was she is a spy or the killer or whatever,
It's so
and the
convenient
killer
that she moves
seems
in
to be a
immediately
woman.
afterwards.
Like, but do you think that's just like a bait and switch, or what do you think?
No, I think that Dottie is the killer at the very end of the episode who kills Krzeminski.
Which killed me. I was devastated.
I don't
I was in Devon.
No, I started to get attached to his like ridiculous mess of a character. Like,
Yeah.
it was like an
Actually,
adorable
it's
mess.
funny. I should have known though. We all should have known because in TV, there's when minor characters have some sort of highlights in an episode because he
Like
kinda
he
with,
found the
kinda kind of with
license plate.
this license plate, and then in the episode, it was like his girlfriend, and then wanting to take his shift. It was like I should have known they were going to kill him off because he's not like a main. He's not one of the main detectives.
He was being
or
too
agents.
smart for
But
his
he's an
own
actor
character.
that I recognize and have seen in a lot of stuff, and so I thought, oh, he's a series regular. I didn't think at all because I like that
He was
actor.
only in like 3 episodes in
Yeah.
the IMDb page, so.
I didn't do that research.
IMDb, you spoil things.
Damn
Stop
it.
it.
Here's what I thought about Krzeminski dying. I knew it was going to happen the minute he was like, "There's an English lady on the boat," and I was just like, "Well, Krzeminski's dead." But for me, it could have been very interesting if Krzeminski was the one who knew, and then because everybody picks on Krzeminski, that Krzeminski and Carter suddenly are like, you know what? Screw these guys. We're gonna do this. And like Krzeminski's feeding her the information she can't get from the other guys.
He was going to be her inside man?
Yeah.
suddenly?
And he's just playing dumb.
No.
No, he's kind of dumb.
This
That
character
would've been
who has a
great.
wife and a girlfriend on the side and also sleeps around with a bunch of prostitutes.
Deserve to die.
Not that he deserved to die, but he was such a chauvinist. He was not going to be going
But
into
that would've been an
helping her out.
And
That would have been nice though. That would have been
a
nice
change of character.
if he was so like dumb about it, where like Peggy convinced him otherwise to like switch it around to help her,
I love
her,
now we're
and
just
he doesn't
talking about
even
plot
know
lines
that he's
that-
like helping her.
But see, I wouldn't even
Cannot
want it
happen
for
now.
him to be dumb. In my brain, it was that because they do. Shut up, Krzeminski. Krzeminski's an idiot. You're a dumbo. And like that kind of, he sees that she's capable. They say like it could even be like he was on his way in there, and they say something just super rude to him, like they always do. And it's just one of those, just like, you know what?
But
Screw you. And that might be the nerd in me going like, you guys pick on people. Yeah.
But he was the kind of guy that kind of deserved it because he could take it. He was too dumb to kind of like be hurt by the insults.
Smart people get hurt by bullets.
Dumb people
Especially in
have
the Marvel
feelings.
universe.
Dumb people have feelings too.
No, that's true.
Everyone
that
has
said,
feelings.
That said, that was I think where the writing came in, because I didn't feel sorry about him dying, because like I think that the male characters have not been written very well, and I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional. I just that they're not as interesting as the female characters in this show. Except for obviously Jarvis, who's awesome,
I hope it's intentional,
and
like-
Sousa. But Sousa's also like he's treading
He's
this
like a
middle
sketch
ground.
of a
He's
character.
He is a sketch of a character. He's very, very much like bare bones, and I think he will be fleshed
His like
out.
story is his injury and his
That's
his
it.
crush on her.
Exactly.
And
he's
then,
like
but
the
I have to
opposite
say,
to Captain America.
I
because
did
she's
really like Chad Michael Murray during the interrogation process of Jarvis.
He wasn't that
Sure.
cheesy this episode.
No.
Right.
Thank
it was
you.
not like
It was a little
cheesy.
more
It was
down.
really good.
I'm so sassy today.
And I feel a little like I maybe like jumped the gun by like being a little dismissive of him because he was on a CW show or WB show or whatever it was he was on. Like,
it was CW, but before it was called
before,
BW.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It was
And then
WB.
still
UPN
didn't care
or
about his
something.
character. If I'm honest, I still didn't care about his character. I'm
Anybody
sorry,
remember
guys.
UPN? Am I the only one that remembers
All right. Well,
UPN?
now as we walk down
But-
network
Wait.
television memory lane.
Anyway.
We
But
do not
Dottie.
need to
You
go.
do.
But back to Dottie. I mean,
Yes, that's where I wanted to
everyone
get.
knows.
Oh.
Everyone knows.
All right,
At the end of
guys,
this
Dottie.
episode,
I just assumed you guys didn't want
Everyone-
to talk about it because I brought it up
everyone
twice. Go on, Kayla. Go on.
I don't want to say settle down because I feel like I say settle down every episode.
Simmer down.
Simmer down.
I was just gonna say, okay, mom.
But obviously, you guys didn't realize this, but I thought you did, but you guys didn't. We talked
I was
about
on
this
a tiny
earlier.
screen, though.
That it was a woman.
was.
It was a woman, like obviously a
100%.
woman, because it was like the belt wasn't really there, and you kind of saw her hair.
In the back,
follicles
like, it
in
was,
the
like,
back.
tied to
It
the
was like
back.
tied to
I
the
love
back.
you guys.
saw
I
a little bit of her
totally
hair.
like missed that.
And
I
after she
I was
shot,
tired.
after she shot, because she obviously was she shot Krzeminski. She walks back. So it's like it had this very effeminate kind of like
It
way
did.
of walking
Sachet.
back to her car, like.
How I walk everywhere.
And it, yeah. Hands in pockets, like I just
Interesting.
It is
But I
odd.
love the idea of like a female villain. That makes me very excited.
Well,
But
yeah,
who could she
that's
be?
what it is. Because it's...
Demetri.
Oh, and here comes my theory.
Always got a theory.
I have a
theory.
feeling if they do want to link it with Hydra and with Zodiac and the Leviathan, it might be Madam Hydra, guys. It might be Madam Hydra. Because she is a freaking double agent. And she's also, I think that she does not want Peggy's identity to be discovered. Krzeminski is an absolute fool, and so he is disposable, and so was the other guy who was arrested because he was a witness, and so it was easy to get them out of the way. She's not going for Peggy. She's not, or at least not yet. We're only on episode 3. But I think that this might be Madam Hydra that's being introduced in this and expanding the universe.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
It'd be cool.
We mentioned it last
Well, Madam
episode,
Hydra.
but this could be her insert into it. I mean, she's got the hair, she's got the look, she's got everything to be Madam Hydra. So here's hoping
hope
that
so.
that might be her.
Which so let us know your theory about who Dottie is using that hashtag nerdSHOUT on Twitter and then comments below. We love those. We love talking to you guys, which is why every episode we collect questions throughout the week.
Yeah.
So you can put your questions in the comments below, or you can tweet us using that hashtag nerdSHOUT. I looked through a bunch of them, and there was one that we kind of touched on earlier, but there's still more to it, I think. Let me check my Twitter box. Making it a thing.
Trying
The
really
Twitter
hard
box.
to.
So at Hune Linda asks us, do you think there's any more to the Agent Carter Jarvis treason storyline?
I
Yes.
possibly.
Definitely.
It might be him hiding that his wife is dead.
Right.
And I think
Comes
that,
back.
like, what my whole thing was, like, as soon as they sort of referenced it and he was like, that's another story, like, whatever, I was like, oh, they're going to do an episode where that's a storyline. It'll be all flashbacks. It'll be like, we'll see what happened. Like, that's what I'm
We
picturing.
don't have that many
I
episodes.
would love
though,
that
to do
though. I
too
would
many.
Yeah, I know,
love.
but
I would
think-
love to
I
have
have
a
feeling
one just
they
one
kind
episode
of
of
have
flashbacks.
to do that, I think.
Just about Jarvis?
No, not just about Jarvis, but like flashbacks, like
To
of everybody.
earlier.
I would love to see.
Other than just Captain America
'Cause next-
flashbacks.
next
No
episode,
Captain
yeah.
America flashbacks.
No,
We've
we need
had-
some Captain
we've
America
had enough.
flashbacks.
No. They've showed every scene like twice that she was in.
They didn't show that scene. Okay, well, that wasn't a scene she was in.
See?
Well, there will be more flashbacks
There's
back
gotta
to the
be.
day, especially in Age of Ultron. We're gonna have some more Peggy Carter flashbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm excited
So
about that.
this is the
And
introduction
we've
for
got
it.
Dugan and more Howling Commandos coming
Exactly.
up. There's no reason that we can't have flashbacks.
How
from
excited
that.
are you about that?
About Dum Dum Dugan?
Yeah.
More excited than words can say. I love Dum Dum Dugan. But here's my thing about that, though, is Jarvis makes a mention to how Howard got him out, and he goes, that's a story for a different time. So there's got to be something there.
That's
because
what I'm saying.
If Howard
Yeah.
had just bought his way out, just been like, I paid off a bunch of dudes to let me get him and Anna on a plane, then, oh my God, then why is that a story for a different time? Because that's a story for every day with Howard Stark.
Right.
That's true.
Before you
That's
eat
true.
somebody.
I am going a little crazy because this is kind of popping into my mind, and we discussed it kind of briefly, but we see the original Human Torch outfit in Captain America: First Avenger, right? And Howard Stark creates that in his big expo. You see it,
Yeah.
right? What if Jarvis is in fact not necessarily the first Human Torch, but some kind of superhuman with certain powers? What if that is linked to the war? And what if, because this is crazy, but humor me, guys, humor me,
That's what we've been doing.
because
every
they
episode.
used the original Human Torch's bones to create Vision in the comic books. What if they used Jarvis's bones to create the Vision in Age of Ultron, and he might actually have certain superpowers to begin with? Maybe they can introduce some kind of superhuman into the Agent Carter universe through Jarvis.
But isn't Jarvis like an android? Like,
I mean, there's the Jarvis
The AI.
program, the AI, but that's Paul
Right.
Bettany. That's not James Darcy.
Yeah, that's right.
And Vision is played by
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, down, girl.
All right, this could be
All right.
totally, absolutely nuts
But
and
that's
insane.
what's fun about this.
But that's exactly. So let us know if you think that this ball of nuts stuff could be true. type below and let us know.
Hashtag ball of nuts.
Ball of nuts. Let us know.
Don't
Nerd
do that.
shout.
We're scared of
Nerd
what will
shout.
happen when we have to look up hashtag.
I have to look up.
No.
I just went
Nut
to-
shout. Hashtag nut shout.
Hashtag nerdSHOUT. Hashtag don't listen to Demetris.
I feel like the times he's been right with his theories, like,
Overweighs everything else.
but then we get the crazy theories after that.
Yeah, but you have to get the crazy
I
speculations
know,
out there
they're
because I
good.
mean it's Marvel.
It's
So
true.
much insanity
They
has
can do
ensued in
anything.
this universe.
Yeah.
What if
You gotta
Jarvis
think
is
it.
Thanos?
Totally.
James Darcy totally has
He's Janos.
the chin.
Janos.
I can't right now. That was
And
so
straight
ridiculous.
face, no cracking. I waited
Straight
for the
up.
crack. Nope. Just
That was so
totally
ridiculous.
believes it.
I can't. I'm done. Jarvis is
All
Thanos.
right, I think we're all done.
So thank you guys so much for being here with us on nerdSHOUT. We want to give a huge shout out to somebody who's been really helping us. You should check out @Shield Radio on Twitter, or you can follow their own Agent Carter show and their Agents of Shield show when that comes back at helicarrierpodcast.com. They are awesome. If you like what we talk about, you will love what they talk about, and they're super duper cool. They've been super supportive of us. So check them out. And while you're doing that, let us know what kind of nerdy stuff you want to talk. Daisy wants to know. Daisy wants to know, guys. Do you want to talk about Star Wars? We got a movie coming out. I know Mark wants to talk to you guys about everything DC.
Yes.
Flash, Arrow, Constantine.
See Daisy's collar?
Everything.
Let us know.
Let us know. I mean, anything nerdy that you guys want to talk about. I know someone asked me to talk about the death of Deadpool that's coming out this year. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to start working on different features and things. So let us know, and we'll do our best.
And comic books too.
Comic books, movies, TV, regular books.
Let us know. Do you think World War Hulk will happen as well?
It's back here.
I do. Hit me up on Twitter.
Looks
Hit me
like
up on
it's
Twitter.
happening.
I have
Use that
theories.
hashtag.
Is this happening, guys?
It's happening. It's happening.
So
It's
let's
happening.
find out. We'll talk to you guys, and we'll see you next week. Thank you guys very much.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, guys.
Bye.